Okay, so to make an attendance survey, go ahead and select the course that you'd like to start your attendance survey in. For the sake of this example, I'm going to use my world history class. You're going to come to the side and click quizzes. Next, you're going to add a quiz. For the details, you can put whatever you'd like here, whatever directions, it doesn't matter. I like to just keep it simple. Make sure you name your quiz something that you're easily going to recognize that it is an attendance quiz for that particular day. And let's go ahead and make this one April 2nd's quiz. Now in quiz type, rather than making it a graded quiz or a graded survey, we're going to make it an ungraded survey. That way we can still get answers, but it's not going to count towards their final grades and mess up any of our 100-point units. If you scroll down, you're going to have this due on the particular day that you want your attendance done. So this is for April 2nd. We're going to make it due that day. And it will only be available on that day as well. So this way they're only checking in for that day. They can still complete assignments at a later time, but they can only take this attendance quiz on the day that we're checking for attendance. So all of this is set correctly. For questions, I only do 2. Did you check in with class today? And to avoid students' mischievous behavior, I delete all but one answer and give them the only option of yes. Then I upload another question and ask them to please upload what you worked on today as either a file or a picture. Because some students may have hard copies of whatever assignment you've given them today, they may need to just take a picture. Or they can take a screenshot of a completed quiz, whatever the assignment is for the day. So for question type, it's going to be a file upload question. And then you're going to save and publish, and your attendance quiz for that day is there. Now, I like to go into the announcements and have these set up to post the day of the e-learning assignment. So you create a new one. World History 2. E-learning April 2nd. So you can actually link directly to the assignment you want the students to work on. If you go over here, click assignments, and it can be whatever you have in mind that day. We're going to have them work on the newspaper, and then we need to remind them to take their attendance quiz. Which, on the sidebar, you can link to that as well. Fantastic, didn't spell that right either. Okay, if we go down here to options, we can delay posting so that Miss Mitchell can go back in and correct all of her spelling errors. And post this for that particular e-learning day. And if you want users to comment, that's fine as well. I've also, because the kids have been distanced from us for so long, want to put a reminder in there of my email address so that they can reach me for questions. And then we'll save that. And this announcement will be visible on April 2nd. It has the assignment I want them to work on. There's the attendance quiz. There's my email. So they shouldn't have any problems with knowing what to do that day. Now, another fun feature that I've discovered is if you go back to quizzes, rather than having to create quizzes for each of your classes, if we go into the quiz, you can actually go on these three dots and click copy to. And then I have a list of all the courses that I'm a teacher or TA in that I can copy this attendance quiz into. So now I don't have to keep repeating making a quiz for April 2nd that will have these same settings. Now I can just copy this quiz. I can go in and edit the title for all of my other courses. So we'll put it in economics. And you don't have to put it in a module if you don't have modules in your courses. And copy operation is successful. So now if I go into economics and check out the quizzes that I have, I have some world history surveys that I'm going to go in and edit to say economics surveys and make sure that everything's spelled correctly. Now, if I want my students to take a quiz and I want to kind of check on them and make sure they're staying on the quiz, I need to select whichever quiz it is that I've assigned for them to do. Then I need to go into Show Student Quiz Results underneath the three dots. And I can select a student. If I notice someone gets 100% and that's not normal, any fluctuations in what I think students should have, I can check on any student or all students. Just click their name. And then up here at the top, you have View Log. And you're going to click that. So what you're looking at now is all of the activity that the student had when taking this test. If you scroll down, you can see they're answering questions, they possibly read questions, but then you notice down here at the 7-minute mark, they stopped viewing the quiz, but then resumed. Sometimes this can just be YouTube. It doesn't exactly allow you to see what they're looking at during this time, but you can see if students are taking an extra long time to look at things and get back to, like we have a minute gap here. Perhaps they were looking at something else. They could have been looking up an answer. But if it's only a few seconds, you can assume maybe they're checking YouTube and changing a song. But this can help give you an indication of whether or not a student was on Canvas the entire time. So another tool you may want to add to any of your announcements or assignments that you're giving to students is if you want to be able to actually teach the lesson and record yourself giving lesson, going through PowerPoints or reading whatever the assignment is for the day, you can also do that. What I'm currently using is Screencast-O-Matic, which is basically what you see here on their website is what it looks like on my end. I press record and it starts recording me. When it's done, you can either save it to your Screencast-O-Matic profile on their website, or you can upload it to YouTube and make it unlisted, which means that the general public can't go in and find your video. They have to have the link, which if you post the link into your announcements, your students will have that link for you. Or if you just need to record your voice, on our Surfaces, there's a voice recorder, which is what I used for the 70s reading. You just press this button and start recording. When you're done, you can rename it. I used it for another PowerPoint. The only problem with using this is it makes it an MP4 file, which is difficult to work with, and it's not very compatible with different technologies. So you need to, if you have Google in your drive, you'll have to add it into your drive, and this is my drive. And so your recording will look like this with this little globe. What you can do is right click on it and open it with Cloud Convert, which is the easiest one to use of these options. it'll open a new pop-up window for whatever file you've selected. And that was a particular audio track that I selected, and you're going to convert it to an MP3 file. And then make sure that you have it selected to save output files to Google Drive, and you'll convert it. And that's how you get all these with the headphones, which are a lot easier to upload. This is the same thing that I did here in Canvas. I selected the MP4 file I originally recorded through Microsoft, uploaded it to the drive, and converted it to an MP3. So now the students can listen to me reading this rather than them going through it at their own pace.